Hello!
Hey guys, it's Jaden Zane coming to you from Shadow Strike again. It's been forever. A while since we've done this.
It's been forever.
And guys, we got Curly Hair back. The Boy Scouts kicked him out. They were tired of him chasing the kids with knives. So anyway,
knives being penis.
No, my contract ended.
So anywho, let's we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. So let's just jump into this. First thing we want to talk about is someone asked me what did I think about Sonic the Hedgehog is getting another cartoon.
Is he?
Yes. It's called Sonic. It's called Sonic Boom. And it's supposed to start. It's supposed to start airing. I think middle of this next year. And my first thought wasn't that the name of one of the Street Fighter's moves?
Yep.
Sonic
Boom.
Did you? That's right. Now, did you ever watch the Sonic cartoons?
Yeah.
Now, I liked Sonic X.
That was the only one I really cared for. Yeah.
Because
Sonic Underground.
I watched a little bit of that. I like how that looked.
I liked Underground because I liked every time he said snooze, you lose, gotta cruise. But Sonic X, I actually have the whole series at home. I mean, I see. The only thing I don't like about this is this one supposedly takes place in a desert, and it feels...
Sonic doesn't do well in a desert.
It feels kind of like a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner type of thing, so I'm not really sure.
You have a fast guy that's kind of a purplish blue color. I mean, he's just blue, but yeah.
Yeah.
And he runs fast in a desert. Okay.
And then Wile E. Coyote would be like Dr. Robotnik.
Well, I will see.
He's got as much hair as that, I guess.
Well, see, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do for the song because I thought Sonic X's theme was amazing.
That was a winner.
Plus, if that song gets in your head, it ain't getting it out. But yeah, Sonic Boom. If you're a Sonic fan, be sure to check that out. And another thing, this one popped up on Twitter a while ago when I filled this out. And Disney has created a Lion King cartoon that is going to debut in 2015. They wanted to take some of that. I guess everyone now they're jumping on like where they take Star Wars and make it a whole series.
Sure.
So Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah, they're basically taking Lion King and turning it into the way the article described it was a learning tool for kids between the ages of kindergarten age and 3rd grade. So I'm guessing they're trying to like make it the new Clifford, Arthur.
I guess.
It's
going to be on Disney Junior.
Yes. Well, see again what we've always said before. Disney are money whores.
Yeah.
They'll do anything.
I never noticed that the milk has an angry face on it.
The milk has angry.
Oh, it does.
The milk has an angry face. Angry face, right there. Why is it angry?
Yeah, this is Sam.
Why is the milk so angry?
Yeah.
It's sour milk.
I see. Well, see, when I read that, I was just like, I don't understand of all the things Disney can do, why they'd be focusing on this. But next thing is...
Well, they can't do Aladdin anymore.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. We want to note that this is a little bit after the death of Robin Williams.
Which there is one question that I added this morning that someone asked us. So we'll get to that in the later. But the next thing is Vanguard World Championships. They're going to be going on between August and December. These are the qualifiers. There's one in Dallas and Fort Worth. We are planning on going down there. Right now we have like the way it's going to look is we're going to have a train going from our locals, and it's just going to go all the way to Fort Worth.
4 cars?
Yeah, I think we're up to 4 cars now.
Yeah.
Possibly with a 5th. So anyway,
all the more reason to run machinings.
If
all machines, we're running machinings.
It makes sense.
What up?
Yeah,
if you want further information on that, you can go to the Cardfight Wikia. They have all the locations now, and I think they even have the venues. If they don't have the venues, you can email them direct, and they will give you the address. So you can get all that information. They start this month, actually. I think the first one is actually next weekend, but I might be wrong on that. So you can check that out. If one's close in your area, be sure to go to it. We will be going to the one in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah. So if you want to come hang out with us, we're going to be staying more than likely at the Hilton Hotel. That's right near the convention center. So if you want to hang out, don't feel shy. Give us a call.
Yeah, find us there or at the hotel. At the convention. What is it called? World Championships?
I think it's literally called the Fort Worth Convention Center.
All right.
It's the World Championship qualifier. We'll be there,
or we'll be at Saltgrass.
We'll be at Saltgrass Steakhouse. But we'll all be wearing the red alien shirts.
Speaking of which, I need to get a new one from them that actually fits me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we got
That
plenty
one-
of time to do that.
That one did not fit me.
But
okay.
we will be wearing those bright
bad.
red shirts, so it won't be hard to find us.
Unless everybody decides to wear one.
Yeah, we're gonna start a new trend.
Everyone's just
Where
wearing
do you
the
live?
shirt.
Alaska. How did you get that shirt? I don't know. I just got it in the mail.
There was this guy and he was at this thing and I just hit him over the head with a hammer and took his shirt.
I just really liked Aliens. I wanted it.
Okay,
I love Aliens.
next question. This was from a while ago, so it is, but it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna see it? Unfortunately, I was dragged to see it, and it sucked.
Whatever.
It
was a good
sucked.
movie.
It sucked.
How did it suck?
They made the turtles too techy. The turtles didn't use gadgets. Not as near as
Only
many.
one did.
Only one does.
It was.
Only one did, and
It was terrible.
correct.
Megan Fox played April O'Neil. It was terrible. Michael Bay
Okay,
is
I'll
obvious.
give you Megan Fox
Right,
playing
right.
April
Please do.
O'Neil is horrible. I'll give you that.
Megan Fox and Michael Bay are. You're telling me two of the major movies that he's made and Megan Fox being in them both is just a coincidence?
No, I'm just saying, with her in it, did make the movie bad. I did not like Megan Fox.
I also
but
didn't like
loved
the
how
design of the turtles. I didn't like it.
I love the turtle design. They looked original. They looked like actual turtles when you saw them. The comments that they made, they all seemed like they had personalities and not
Right.
just that stupid teenager stupidity attitude.
I'll give them that. I'll give them that. They did it.
The only one that
they
really
did at least that.
The only one that sounded like the original Ninja Turtle was Michelangelo, but that's because he's the goofy one of the group.
Right.
I loved how in like almost every chance they got, they poked fun at the original cartoon. I loved that. The Shredder.
The Shredder was
The Shredder was awesome. The concept behind him, the outfit,
Yeah, the outfit was great.
and the
you
suspense
saw the
building
movie?
up.
I've seen trailers for it, and I'm going to see
The
it in the
suspense
future.
up to the actual Shredder in his armor was freaking awesome.
Maybe I just didn't like it.
I mean, I will
that's-
say, if you go to this movie expecting it to be anything like any of the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you're
be
gonna
disappointed.
hate this movie.
Well, see, I
You're
wasn't
gonna
expecting that. I was just expecting. The storyline seemed lazy to me. I mean, I think there was so much else
Well,
they could have done with it.
On that note, I admit the storyline is lazy because if you take the storyline to it and put it right next to the Amazing Spider-Man,
Yeah.
it's the exact same.
Well, yeah, but then again, I mean, Disney, they'll recycle anything.
Yes.
But
Disney and Fox, but
well, yeah. Point being, I wish they would have done more with it. I mean,
they could have done more.
But then again, I probably had a lot of hate for this movie because Michael Bay's name was on it.
Right.
Because I can't stand Michael Bay.
I'm not fond of him either.
I have sworn off his movies for the rest of my life.
There you go.
I will agree with you.
There is one other thing I'm going to say about Michael Bay when we get to the question down
Okay.
here. And then the last topic is someone asked me, what are your thoughts on the new TV series Gotham? It's basically they're going to take the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. perspective and they're going to tell you Bruce Wayne's story as a kid. As he was growing up as a kid, you're going to get to see the people who he saw taking over Gotham when he was just a kid. I'm guessing the opening episode is going to be the one where his parents are killed at the theater because that is shown in the trailer, and it's supposed to start in the fall. And I'm really excited about it, honestly.
I would be too, honestly.
I mean, it's called Gotham. It's going to be on TNT.
I gotta go.
Alright. I did not know that this was going to be a thing until someone asked me about it. Because they were like, okay, wait a minute, Gotham, is this like another story completely? Is it basically going to be a Batman weekly show or what? And I did some digging, and it's basically prequel to...
Which I'm good with.
Which I'm happy with, because now, did you ever watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I did not.
I caught a few episodes of it. I wasn't overly impressed. I think they tried to just take... Because let's face it, they hit a grand slam with the Avengers. And
Absolutely.
I think they wanted to take that and make more money off of it, and it just didn't work. I don't know if it's still on the air or not, but...
No, I think they've ended it with 2 seasons.
Yeah,
makes sense.
from what I read, it wasn't getting great reviews.
It was season 2 was good because they introduced what that like sub hacker group is.
Oh, yeah.
But they introduced it weird because they kept trying to change it during season 1. Like originally, the main girl was part of a hacker group. Then it turns out it's a terrorist group. Then it turns back into a hacker group. And then you're just sitting there like, what the fuck is it?
Well, it could have been a lot better, but honestly, they thought just because they took that one guy from S.H.I.E.L.D. that dies in the Avengers and stick him in it, that it would become a 5-star show. I think if they wanted it to be good, I think they should have had the Avengers do cameos every other episode. Have Tony Stark appear, have Thor appear, have Hulk appear.
Right.
You know, or you know what, the guy who plays Hulk, he's not doing anything. Why couldn't he be like a major on the show? But they could have done a lot with that, but
people would have appreciated it more, having a little bit more of an Avengers story than it would be just S.H.I.E.L.D., which nobody really cares about S.H.I.E.L.D. that much.
Well, and also, I mean, people don't care about the S.H.I.E.L.D., they just care about the Avengers, and I'd consider Nick Fury almost one of the Avengers in a way.
Might as well be.
I mean, in the comics, he even fought at times.
Yeah.
But, okay, question time. Do sequels, whether it be in gaming or films, hurt or help franchises?
That depends.
It does vary on the...
It depends on what you're doing. Like, Saw was overdone.
Yeah.
8 sequels, 7 sequels
How
is
many
overdoing
times can you
it.
do a movie again?
Yeah, I mean, and it eventually it gets stale.
Then you make a series that's kind of like it, but gives you something new.
Yeah, and now like there are some sequels that, or some like franchises who can continue to make sequels because of their popularity. Like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's gonna keep on going.
Kingdom Hearts, unfortunately, they have waited so long to push out Kingdom Hearts 3 that they have pushed out countless sequels.
Yeah.
And, a trading card game, Chain of Memories, and all these other games. And they were good in their own right, but...
People are waiting for that 3. Just finally
it's like I honestly don't care what this person was doing when Sora was asleep.
Sure.
You know, it's like I want to know. I want Kingdom Hearts 3. I want the next
I'm fine
piece.
with 365. No, 3 whatever.
365 days. I like that one, and it was actually very sad.
That actually informs you of like
right.
And it's pretty sad.
That's
when that one girl is
there's Roxas and
I can't remember their names, but that 365 days really was sad.
Yeah.
I do know that before Kingdom Hearts 3 is released, they recently came out with Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix. It was basically a PlayStation 3 HD remake of Kingdom Hearts 1. There's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 2.5 remix, so it's going to be a remake of 2.
Awesome.
2 being my favorite so far.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, 2 was amazing, and they did and the one thing that they did very well on is showing how Sora aged.
Yeah.
Because from everything I've read about 3, there's rumors that there's going to be over 25 worlds. And it's like, well, if that's they better hit a grand slam with 3, because if they bomb with this,
one of my favorite parts of 2 was the little gummy ship.
Oh God, yes, it was actually easier to fix your ship.
I know.
Kingdom Hearts 1, you had to align everything, and you had to draw with that stupid joystick, and I hated it. I mean, but then I got through the whole game with that little.
Bring it back.
Yes. But with 3, if they do have as many worlds as they're claiming, I mean, because I know Frozen has been confirmed. I know Treasure Planet was confirmed, which I was on.
Yeah.
I'm happy Treasure Planet was confirmed.
Yes.
The Hunchback was confirmed.
I can dig it.
Bringing back the basics.
And there's rumors that since Disney bought Star Wars, they're going to try and shove them in there.
I hope not.
I hope not, because
that's not their domain.
Well, Star Wars is more dark than Disney.
Right.
Disney just bought Star Wars because they obviously just were cleaning and like, we got $4 billion lying around. We don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But I hope Star Wars isn't in it.
I don't think it would fit at all.
I mean, I think it would be popular, but in the end, it just doesn't mix. I mean, but then a lot of people who do want it in there, they're like, well, you put Final Fantasy in Kingdom Hearts. Well, Final Fantasy it fits because they started with it.
Yeah.
You know, but also the Kingdom Hearts 1 was produced when George Lucas still owned all the rights to Star Wars. But I don't think it would be well for the game's health or popularity or sales or whatever. That they just
very careful about this next step.
Yep.
I mean, it is true. They said that you're going to have the same 3 characters. Supposedly, Sora is going to now be about 16 years old.
Okay.
So he has aged another 2 years, which is good. And then they said that in this one, it's going to have possibly a different battle system. I don't know how I feel about that because I hate.
I liked 2's battle system.
I did too, but the problem is if it goes to a Final Fantasy style, like a lot of people are predicting.
Then what's the difference?
No.
Well, it's a turn-based thing.
Yeah, Final
Right,
Fantasy
yeah.
is turn-based.
Well,
unless
no,
you
I'm
go
saying, then
off
what's the
13,
difference? I
because
said,
13
at that point.
because 13 was RPG. You could actually run your character around.
Right.
But it was, I don't know what, I mean, and they're being very secretive, and they're trying to keep it real close to the chest. I mean, me personally, I don't think this game is going to be seen until next year.
You know,
And it's sad because they said this game was supposed to come out in early 2013.
That's quite a ways
But
back.
but with PlayStation and Xbox or Microsoft, whatever you want to call them, pushing the next systems back into this year, they also decided, well, we're going to wait because we want Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PlayStation 4 platform. You know, but there's not even a release date anymore, guys. It went from early 2013 to late 2013 to early 2014 to this middle of the year,
And now it's like, let's see what happens. We'll get there.
I mean, but the only thing I can say about this is if they do not get 5-star Game of the Year with this, it is going to be a failure. Because you've made us wait literally almost 3 years for one of the biggest gaming sequel hype forever.
Because
Now,
literally
I have a
we got
question.
Birth by Sleep. And, well, that kind
Well,
of...
and I think Birth by Sleep was what everyone thought 3 was going to be, and then they were like, no, it's a backstory, and we're like, we don't want any more backstory.
it's,
Yeah, we have enough
it's
of that.
not actually a backstory. It's more of... It's telling you what happened.
So it's not okay. Oh wait, I get them mixed up. Birth by Sleep. It wasn't a backstory. It was
No.
kind of like extra.
Yeah.
It, you know, but I'm
Because you
ready
got
for
to
3.
see Mickey.
Yeah.
Dorothy.
Considering you barely see Mickey at all in 1. You see him somewhat in 2.
and you can actually play as him in 2.
Yeah.
If you die during certain boss battles, you
Yeah.
get revived as Mickey.
Yeah.
And then Sora, and then Mickey, and then Sora, and this goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah, but in the end, but see, like the original question, do sequels end up hurting or helping a franchise? It only helps it.
That was a long-
It only hurts the franchise if you continue to push out mediocre games like Kingdom Hearts is doing. I mean, granted, a couple of the sequels were good games, but
Now, was this specific to movies or video games?
movies or games. You
Yeah,
know,
again, movies, usually the second ones are not as good as the first, and they're definitely not as good as the third. But
Yeah. Well, see, it's kind of like what they did when they took the Nightmare on Elm Street and they tried to remake it. Okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Even if you think you can do Freddy Krueger, no one will ever outdo Robert Englund. This guy was Freddy Krueger. He was ugly as sin. He had the laugh. He had the look. And he was perfect. And then the new guy that got to play Freddy Krueger was half his size, and the story wasn't even the same. And then then they were like, well, what about Jason? Well, anybody can be Jason.
Right, he has a
Just
mask on.
get a tall guy and put a hockey mask on him. You can get anybody. And plus, Jason never runs. He just, you know.
Here's how your vote.
So, the answer to this question, it depends.
It really does.
depends. You know, I mean, there's no yes/no answer to it. Number 2, you win the lottery. First thing you do.
Jump in the air.
Yeah.
Okay,
After the excitement moment, I would get a car. I would get my license. That kind of helps. I would get my Thor costume because I'm going to be Thor next year, as I was mentioning before, a long time ago. I'm going to finish off my decks, and after that,
What about a house?
a house at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I want a nice
really
old
have
house.
No idea.
I also want to have
I am content living with my parents.
Right, and I also want to have a 90s beach party with, tiki torches and a bonfire and, music playing, some island tunes.
See, I wouldn't have to buy a house because I already have a house of my own, but
if you want to improve upon it.
There'd definitely be some. I saw this one guy, he had this slide made for his kids, and it was a slide escalator. You rode it downstairs, and it lifted you back upstairs.
That's wonderful.
And I was like, there's $100,000 or whatever he threw into that.
You can be as lazy as you want.
First thing I would do, though, is I'd probably get out of school. Because you hear these. I've been in lines. I was in a quick trip once when the lottery was at its record high, like $400 and some odd million.
That's a lot.
And he said, you know what really makes me mad? If I'm lucky enough to win the lottery, they take 100 of it away, and I'm there, and I'm looking at him go, I'll still take that 300 if you don't want it.
Yeah.
It's like $300 million.
What are you going to do?
You could not try to spend that money unless you bought like a company. And I mean like a big company. Like if you tried to buy out
Walmart.
Yeah, well good luck with that.
Right.
But
I've seen some
$300 million could make you. Honestly, what I'd do if I did win the lottery, I would call my mom and tell her, quit your job, you're done.
Yeah.
Here is $20 million.
Live off that.
Live off that for the rest of your life. Travel.
Do whatever you feel.
Do whatever you feel like. Enjoy it. I would probably call my grandfather, tell him to sell his construction company, and say, if you guys want to move out to Hawaii, go for it.
Have at it.
I would take care of my family.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'd have fun. I'd buy me that big fancy sports car I've always wanted. I'd probably buy me about 10,000 pairs of basketball shoes because I collect tennis shoes like no one's freaking business.
All right.
But interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, Zane, this was for you.
Okay.
Your opinions on D&D and the best way to start off playing.
Okay, so thanks to Aaron, we have been introduced to the wonderful world of D&D, and Forfed, which, in my opinion, of the ones I've seen so far, I think it's the simplest and the easiest to get, honestly, and really it's enjoyable. Now, the best way to start D&D is you either have one friend that go ahead and researches as much as he can about how to work the mechanics and stuff, how to play out the game, or at least has a good imagination, and you have them as your DM. Even if they have never DM'd before, it's not like a job where they want experience preferred. You just have them to do it. As long as you have them, then they can have the experience.
As long as you can think of something that you had never planned for.
The best way that I could describe D&D to somebody, I've played it not as much as these two, but I've played it enough to know it's basically improv. You have to be able to think quick.
Yeah.
Me and him have 1 day a week about 3.
Well, you have 2.
Yeah,
I have
2.
1.
You have 1.
I have friggin' on Tuesday. I have Death Watch. Technically, I run a
Warhammer 40K, which is just different system.
I run the World of Warcraft campaign on Wednesday here, which is still D&D.
By the way, there's like so many different systems.
There are.
You don't have to do just D&D.
There's a lot of RPGs out there.
Like we just found
and
out today.
And it's technically, guys, the same thing.
Yeah. It just all depends on the game, and also.
It just really changes how it's played and like the universe.
And if you're saying, well, I don't like Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, guys, there's D&Ds. There's D&Ds for Star Wars. There's D&Ds for Vanguard. There's D&Ds for. There's a God of War D&D I actually did with a couple of friends.
That's awesome.
And it was freaking awesome.
I bet it was.
Basically, what it is Kratos was the boss, was the end game boss, and you selected what god you wanted to be. It was pretty amazing.
I wonder how many people said, I want to be Ares. Oh, I want to be Ares. I want to be Ares. I want to be
Ares
female Ares. It's like, I'm Ares is dead. Undead Ares.
my first playthrough, I was Hades. And the second playthrough, I was Poseidon.
Nice.
So, but guys, if you want to play D&D, guys,
Yeah.
I've actually researched a little bit myself. All you have to do is go to Google and type in D&D, and you will find a slew of info.
Right.
How to play it, where to get it, where to order it. Believe it, guys, there's even a D&D magazine that you can order that will be shipped to your door monthly.
Absolutely.
So
all the books are even on PDF online.
Yeah, and if you want all the books, you can download them to your computer, and that way you don't have big bulky books unless you really want.
Trust me, those are really expensive. Now, my final thing I'll say about D&D is, to get started, pick somebody to be your DM. Hopefully they do a little bit of research and stuff. If not, have the creativity to make whatever they want to. D&D is basically anything your heart desires within a structured universe that you manipulate with, your regular skill system and stuff.
Imagine you are the director of a movie. That's what it is. You direct the world, and if you are the GM, or the DM, the dungeon master, whatever it's called, I've heard it called the game master
or
dungeon master.
But the characters do improv the entire time.
And I will warn you, the first time you do it, you're gonna feel very weird.
Oh yeah.
Because you are actually talking as this character.
Right. You're not pretending to be you. You're pretending to be this character, how he acts, because your character asks you, what is your affiliation? What religion are you? Stuff that makes your character. They even have a section on your character sheet that says, what's your background? Yeah, what's your background? Where'd you come from?
Aneurysms.
How do you act? Yeah. There's a lot of ways to do it. But to get started in D&D, grab a DM, get at least 2 or 3 players, or 4. I mean,
the recommended number is 4, isn't it?
Not us,
The recommended number is 4 from all I've read.
Pretty much,
By not us, we mean not like 16.
Yeah, my campaign has in total 19 characters logged into it, pretty much.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It is sometimes. We had at most 12 people in one campaign.
Except for a few main people.
Yeah, but you grab your friends. Decide on a day that you guys are going to meet up.
Yeah.
Make sure it's consistent. Make sure there are people that are actually going to keep coming and stuff. If it's going to be a small group, make sure there are people that are trustworthy and reliable that are going to show up and stuff. And also fun to play with. Not trying to make it an uncomfortable situation or just not fun in general, because most of the reason why players revolt during a campaign is either they're not happy with their character or they're not happy with what's going on.
Yeah.
Or they're rule warriors, which means, they know every rule and they just hound you to death about them and stuff. But the way you solve that one is you make them a co-DM, which is somebody who helps you work your campaign with you, and it's usually a good system and stuff.
So.
And if you're trying, when trying to create a character, if it's like the first character you've ever made, make it really similar to like you.
Yeah.
Or maybe a more mythological version of you. It doesn't have to be an exact copy, but
not an
the
exact
first
copy.
character you make, try and make it how you'd want to be if you were a superhero.
Exactly. Like, my first character is a paladin, and that's always what I've been about. Judgment, Crusaders, and just holy stuff in general and stuff. That's totally me. And
So,
I can
if you have any
go more anywhere.
yeah.
If you have any more questions about D&D, you can just leave them in the comment section.
I'll do a whole video.
Zane looks at the comments from time to time, so if he sees it, I'll just leave them blank and he can answer them.
Yeah.
So, all right, the next question we kind of already debated about because it was opinions on the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Oh, wow. How convenient.
I don't really know what else to say about Kingdom Hearts, guys. We did our rundown.
Although I do have one question. You played 1, right?
I've played all of them, yeah.
Okay, I have not played Kingdom Hearts 1. Does it end
That was the only
like
one I played.
Kingdom Hearts 2 does? Just that like screen that's there forever?
I honestly don't remember. I haven't beat Kingdom Hearts 1 in a while. I like how Kingdom Hearts 1, the way it ends, it always makes me a little teary.
Sure.
When they're shutting the door and they want Mickey and Riku to come out, but the only way the door stays shut is if they stay in.
Yeah.
And as Sora's shutting the door, you see Riku's face. Because he's now been freed from Ansem, and he looks at Sora and says, "Take care of her," meaning Kairi. And the first time I saw, because I played Kingdom Hearts when it came out when I was
a long time
9-10 years old. When I saw that, I just immediately busted out crying. It's like, okay, these two guys who were best friends throughout this whole game have tried to kill each other, and now finally he is now being locked in a door with basically the world of the Heartless And I mean, it's sad. It really is.
It is.
But if you've never tried the Kingdom Hearts franchise, guys,
It's definitely
because you look at it and go, oh, Disney, that must be for little
15
kids.
thumbs up.
It's an amazing franchise.
Oh yeah, even I played it a little
But
bit.
all right, we're jumping straight into the next question.
But the only thing I hate about 2 is again the end screen.
I also
it
hate.
just stays there forever.
I also hate in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you transform into one of the other forms. If you stay in it at the wrong time in boss fights, it literally turns you into a Heartless, and you must finish the battle as a
I
Heartless.
like the Heartless form though.
I do too, but in some boss battles you literally can't hit them.
Oh yeah.
Like
That will cause
when you're
issues.
battling in Tron's world, if you get turned into a Heartless, you
Actually,
are
no,
basically screwed.
I had a fine time.
I actually won off.
See, it must have just kicked my ass then.
Because like
I've done it. I did it on Proud Mode last night, and on Tron
it's
World, I got
a bit weird.
this one.
Though.
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean, my
Proud.
favorite is the Ultimate form, but
The final form.
yeah, final form,
Oh
whatever.
my God, that's
But
And getting the ultimate blade. Oh my god.
Something good happened
Max
over there, and we
just got
can't see.
$100 card.
your favorite video game franchise?
Video game franchise. So
Favorite video game.
I like Pokemon. I like God of War. I like Grand Theft Auto.
those are all good.
Yeah. I just don't like Grand Theft.
I like Grand Theft Auto because of the wide open area.
Oh, sure.
And I love
That's
cars.
good about it, but I don't like the entire premise.
Well, they do go overboard on a lot of things.
Everything.
But in the end, you have to remember it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I work at a place called GameStop. I don't know if that's places outside of my state or not, but
It is.
okay. Well, I work at GameStop, and one day this woman comes in and she was purchasing a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 when it came out. Well, she was clearly over 18, so I didn't ID her. Well, she buys it. She pays me cash. I take the cash. I give her change. I give her a receipt. I put it in the baggie and put like our advertisement that we were doing then. I hand her the bag. I tell her, have a nice day. She smiles. She leaves. Next day, she comes in with that same game, and she says, I need to return this. Well, when someone brings us a game back, we're like, okay, was there a scratch on it? Did it freeze on you? What?
What's going on?
And she said, I bought this for my kids, and my 2 boys are 9 and 10 years old, and this game is too violent for them. And I looked at her and I said, what did you think you were buying?
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, rated M for mature. And if you flip that over, it says excessive language, nudity, drugs.
Violence.
You know,
everything like that.
Actually, I played Devil May Cry 3 whenever I was 8.
I'm sorry.
I played
I
MK2.
love
Yeah,
the Devil May Cry.
Yeah, that was gonna be
Amazing.
one. That was gonna be one of mine. I was gonna say. Yeah.
I mean, I will say this though. Devil May Cry though is one of the hardest games
It's pretty
there
tough.
is.
Yeah.
Especially when you
period.
have to do the combos and stuff and have to get up the ranks of like,
Yes.
you know, from.
But I love the costumes design.
They're
Also,
great.
2 is actually extremely sad.
2 is sad and also has great cinematics.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 2. I mean, it really. It
3 is the best in my
The
opinion.
special,
well, yeah, 3's the best.
Yeah.
special edition of 2, where you have both sides of the story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But see, the
My
fact
dad used
that
to play those.
throughout the whole second one, I felt like they were that the director of the game was sitting there like, make them cry, make them cry, make them cry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
hurt their hearts. I know I can.
also, I don't have scissors. Oh, he's in here.
Which one?
1 second, guys.
Scissors? Oh, wait. Yes, I do.
Okay. One thing, I forgot what I was gonna say. Also, the thing about Devil May Cry is the one. How do I say this? I think because see, some people really hated the game, and the reason they hated it was because they claimed it was too hard. I can, because I'll admit, even on the easy, it was hard. You know.
It's a challenge game, but it's supposed to be.
But then again, if you are into these high strategy games and you have not played the Devil May Cry series,
Oh, yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Right.
I know.
Even if you're just into, like, action games.
There's rumors that Devil May Cry 4 is going to come out next year.
Devil May Cry 4 has already came out.
I mean, not 4.
5.
Thank you, 5.
Is it with new Dante or?
I have no idea.
It better be old Dante.
Yeah.
I'm personally pulling for the old. I mean, I love Dante's Inferno. We've talked about this.
Yep.
Honestly, guys, if you have not read this book, it is worth the read.
It
But
is.
if you are extremely religious, you have to turn on your tolerance button because this book challenges everything about religion. There is a lot of
Wait, how did we go from Devil's May?
Well,
Because that's what Dante and Virgil.
Yeah.
that's what it's
Yeah,
based
I know.
off of.
Yeah.
But
That's how we got
that's
there.
that's what the Devil May Cry is based off of. But
Devil May Cry versions of Dante.
if you want to, if
We know,
if you
yeah.
love the Devil May Cry series, you will love Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the original, not the. They came down with a shorter version. The shorter version, it leaves out a lot of the best parts.
Right.
Now, granted, the one that does leave out a lot of the best parts is a lot more.
User friendly.
But
Wait.
if
Are
you
you talking about the new Devil May
no,
Cry?
I'm talking about the original Dante's Inferno book.
There's a shorter version?
Yeah, they took the original book and they cut it in
It's
half
pretty dang long.
because
Oh,
they
Dante's
needed to
Inferno.
have a healthy school version, I guess, because some schools used it, which
We
really
had to
shocked
do
the hell out of me.
Yeah, we used it. Yeah, even my dad used it too. So.
But if you are a reader and you have not read Dante's Inferno, do so. It
Which
is
also, if you ever had a question why the character's name was Dante in Devil May Cry, or even Virgil, that's why.
That's why. So
They just use their names.
the more you know.
The more you know. For me, my series, I would say, Devil May Cry was one of my options. I'm going to say the Dragon Ball Z games, the Budokai series and everything like
Budokai
that.
and Tenkaichi.
Yeah. Soul Calibur, love those.
Who is your favorite Soul Calibur player? Mine's Nightmare.
Valdo for me.
Valdo.
That's my best character. If I need to beat somebody, I use Valdo.
See, that's how I am with Nightmare. It's
There
like
you
if
go.
someone pisses me off online, it's like I'm getting.
Ironically, my other
Nightmare.
best character is Siegfried.
Oh
I
wow.
So,
forget
yeah.
who the person is with the chainsaw.
The chains?
Is her name Ivy?
I think so.
You mean the whip?
Yeah, the chainsaw.
That's
player.
Ivy.
Yeah, that's
Ivy
Ivy.
Valentine.
Yeah.
I also like Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat's pretty good. Yeah.
Even though that was like one of the
never mind.
most controversial games.
It was, yeah. That reminds me, Street Fighter. Yeah.
Who doesn't love Street Fighter?
I think everybody should. Just saying.
And others that come to mind, Mario.
Mario's great. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to beat a classic.
I recently rebought me a Super Nintendo Entertainment System
Nice.
where the cartridges were these squares like that, and I bought my old favorite games like Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country,
There you go.
Diddy Kong's Quest, which is the Donkey Kong Country the second. That's another one, Donkey Kong.
Uh-huh.
I mean, favorite video game franchise. It's really hard to narrow
Yeah,
it
we
down.
can go on like Streets of Rage. That's a pretty good
Oh
one.
wow!
Yeah.
Nerds here.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Streets of Rage. That brings me back. They made this. They had this thing at Vintage Stock, and I bought it, and I freaking love it. It is a PlayStation game, and it has 20 of those games on it, and they have Streets of Rage 2 on it.
Nice.
And one of the other ones is the original Sonic the Hedgehog game.
I think I actually have what you have. The
Champions
PS3 collection. Thing
Yes.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
It
You guys
is,
ever
yeah.
played Champions NORAD?
Yes. Is that the one that's like the dragons and all that? And they're
I don't
like,
think I have
They're
played
like knights and things. Because I vaguely remember something like
yeah,
that,
I have
but.
to show you. It's a D&D game.
That also reminds-
Baldur's
Oh, okay.
Gate.
Then I'm thinking.
I
of
love
something else.
Baldur's Gate. That was good. Dark Alliance
Play
was my.
Champions NORAD.
I need to play that now.
Yeah.
But,
so good.
Also Vector Man, if anybody remembers that.
Oh yeah, I also liked Bomberman.
Bomberman!
I mean, I'm glad someone else remembered that. I mean, I loved Bomberman. He was
Yeah.
cool.
He was really cool. Oh, Crash Bandicoot,
Crash Bandicoot,
Spyro, they go hand in hand.
Spyro. I am so pissed. Naughty Dog sold the rights.
Yeah.
I do, from what I understand and what I researched, they did put something in the contract that they can take the rights back.
Good.
I hope they do because I like Spyro.
It's hard.
I
When
mean,
you mess up the old stuff. I mean,
he was proof. You do not have to be
Jack and
huge.
Daxter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jack and Daxter had the same problem.
Yeah.
They had Jack 1, which was amazing. Jack 2, wow, that actually sounds very dirty. Jack 2 was amazing. Jack 3 was phenomenal. It actually was, I think it got almost Game of the Year
I
that year.
really like Jack 3 because of the you could also be, instead of the dark eco one, you could be the light eco one.
Yeah,
too.
and I also liked all of the sand dune vehicles.
Yeah,
that
those challenges are boss hard, man.
Yeah,
They're hard.
the last boss battle where you have to chase that spider through the desert and you have to shoot those splots. I get so mad at that I actually hunt down those stupid
we
orbs.
did before, but we were talking about Jack and Daxter games.
That I actually hunt down those stupid little orbs so I could unlock the vehicle with a rocket launcher, just so that thing is easy to kill.
There you go.
Next question: your favorite part about tabletop games? This came from someone, and I can't remember who, so I'm sorry, but he said it can be card games, board games, D&D, but like, what is your favorite thing about them?
They all require at least a little bit of luck.
I think if I
process behind them.
I think I was gonna say the community.
Right.
Yeah, that too.
Because generally,
if I had to go for a universe answer, I think that's probably the best one. But for individual, board games, because they're a set game that you can take whatever path you wish in. As long as the opportunity comes up, you can decide, I feel like I want to play this game like this time, and see what happens this way. And, it's... Except Monopoly.
Yeah.
Monopoly is
but
a
there's-
5-day game.
Yeah.
And for card games, there's a lot of resources you can work with and stuff, and make something that's uniquely you,
Deck
or
building
meta,
games.
or meta,
Deck
build it
building
or whatever.
games.
But
But-
deck building games,
But I like the community that goes in with these kind of things.
Yeah.
Generally you're gonna have bad eggs in every group, but I think also, I also appreciate the competition.
Me too.
Everyone loves competing, whether it's competing over a card game or whether it's competing over just having a debate. But
Right, and if you lose in a game, oh well, it was a game. If you win a game, it's like, okay, cool, I won a game.
Yeah.
We can play again.
It's like in WoW. Whenever your group is playing an elite, it's like, oh, well, okay, you can leave.
Yeah.
I don't care.
This is not bothering me none. I have other fine people to go with.
your favorite Marvel character?
Okay, that's a tricky one for me. I'm going to have to give it a tie.
See, I have a tie too, and that is a tie between...
Spawn, I think, is one of them, right?
Yeah, crap. Oh man, you just made me think of
It's
two
alright.
more. Okay, it's a 4-way tie. I hate this.
I have a 3-way.
Spawn,
Spawn,
Deadpool,
Deadpool.
Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy, and Iron Man. Those
There
are
you
my
go.
4.
Now, was it heroes or just
Your favorite Marvel character.
Okay, 4. All right. So Ghost Rider was my original favorite. Spider-Man was before that. Nowadays it's Thor because I'm going to be Thor next year, and the 4th would be Venom.
Yeah,
I love Venom and Carnage if you want to count the same thing.
Venom is actually getting his own movie.
They better make him look cool and make it good.
Yeah, believe it or not, guys, I'm not making this up. Venom is getting his own spin-off movie.
He deserves it.
And no, I do not know. They have not picked who's going to play Venom yet. There's speculation.
I like how they had Topher Grace as Eddie Brock and
Oh my
Spider-Man.
God.
That was so silly.
That was so terrible. That was probably the worst Venom I have ever seen in my
It
life.
was way too skinny.
And he was small.
It was small.
Because if you go back to the comic books, Venom was like 6.
He's a buff, bulky dude.
He was 6'8". And he weighed 400 pounds, and the guy who was Venom, he wasn't big. He just grew.
Now, the symbiote that was in the 3rd movie should have been Carnage, essentially. They should have changed his color, and it would have been Carnage.
Yeah.
It was the same body, pretty much.
But see, I like Deadpool because
Deadpool's great.
he is. If you have not, believe it or not, there are some people out there when they see Deadpool. I have this Deadpool shirt, and I was actually here one day, and you might have actually been with me. I don't remember who, but someone came up to me, pointed at my Deadpool shirt. You've probably seen me wear it on here before, and he said, "Since when did Spider-Man carry a gun?"
I know, right?
And I was like, "That is Deadpool. Spider-Man can die. Deadpool can't."
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way he can, but he's had his head chopped off, and
that's usually the way to kill anything that's invincible, anyway.
yeah. But and I will say the Deadpool game was actually very fun.
Was it? It looked like it was good.
It was extremely. There was some parts that they could have done without, like there's this one part where you're infiltrating this place, and there's these two security guards, and they're taking a leak at a urinal, and he walks in between them, takes a leak, and then when he's done, he puts his hand on the back of their heads and bashes it into the wall.
That's pretty wonderful, I gotta say.
Yeah. And he is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Iron Man. I mean, who doesn't love Iron Man? Tony Stark's character is amazing.
Yeah. Which Robert Downey Jr. Stan Lee said himself, that is Tony Stark.
And like we were talking about earlier, I cannot wait because they have confirmed that Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers will be in one movie together. Eventually, you're probably not going to see this until 2015, maybe 16, but I cannot wait to see Rocket Raccoon and Tony Stark get into a fight because those are the two smartasses of the group.
That'd be a pretty amazing scene right there.
But if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet, go see it. It is amazing.
I still need to see it.
I want to.
Me too.
It is amazing. I've seen it twice.
But movie.
I hear that they are.
Yeah.
I hear that they have the purple Power Stone in it, the Power
Sentry
Gem.
Stone.
And the problem is, though, it's not the same as the comic books as I heard. And pretty much they said it was like disintegration and stuff like that. That one's meant to be the space gem. It's not anything related to
Well,
that
I think
at
they
all.
changed it just so it was easier to follow in case you
Sure.
didn't read it. Because, guys, like I said, I did a movie review where I reviewed both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Guardians. If you haven't gone to see that, go check it out. But the thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, when Disney decided to make this a movie, you got to understand, people who are not hardcore Marvel fans, they've heard of Iron Man, they've heard of Captain America, they've heard of Spider-Man, because those are very popular. They're mainstream. Guardians of the Galaxy isn't.
No.
When they decided to make this movie, it was either going to do really well or it was going to bomb. And what they did, they were very smart about it. They're like, okay, let's give everyone a chance here. Let's take Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord, or Peter Quill. Chris Pratt has not been in anything that has done any decent good. And I'm not counting all those stupid comedy movies. That is not a movie.
Sure.
That is stand-up in acting form. I do not count that as a movie. That is not how Hollywood looks at it. That's how I look at it.
Right.
So if you want to be mad at someone, be mad at me about that. So Chris Pratt, he dropped like 80 pounds and turned into this statue almost. And he did amazing as Star-Lord, because the Star-Lord's character, you got to get Star-Lord at least close to right. Okay. Rocket Raccoon, he's voiced by Bradley Cooper. You might know Bradley Cooper from what are the Hangover movies?
Oh, yeah.
Bradley Cooper did absolutely amazing as Rocket, guys. Rocket is what made this movie. People went to go see this movie because of a raccoon holding a machine gun. Yeah. That is why they went to see this.
Yeah.
This movie did just as good as the Avengers in the opening week, from what I've read.
I can believe that.
Then they got Zoe, I can't think of her last name, who played Mandora. This girl Zoe, she's been in Avatar, she's been in Losers, she's been in all kinds of different things.
Well-known stuff.
I read, she said that on her Twitter account, the hardest thing was when they painted her green. Mm-hmm. She said, you don't realize how hard it is to paint a black person green.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so she had a lot of fun with that. And then David Bautista, he did amazing as Drax, or Drax the Destroyer. Mm. If you don't know who that is, you might know who Batista is from World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, or professional wrestling. That is where he made most of his money. He got away from the company for a lot of reasons I'm not going to get into because that's not what this is about. And he was sitting at home one day and he got a call from Stan Lee and hey, how would you like to play Drax? Yeah. And then lastly you got Groot, who is the big tree.
Vin Diesel, right?
And he is voiced by Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
The easiest millions of dollars he's ever made.
Yeah.
He says 5 words in this movie, and he was paid millions to do it.
Yeah.
Wish I was paid millions to say 5 words.
That'd be pretty awesome.
But
and hold ahead.
Honestly, I would love to have the baby form of Groot.
That'd be cute.
Spoiler alert, I guess, if you're okay with that.
I'm fine.
He, in the end of the movie, he actually, you think Groot gets killed, and they, Rocket, replants him in a pot, and by the end of the movie, he's a little seedling again.
Yeah.
So it leads you to believe, because they weren't going to kill Groot, because
You can't do
Star-Lord is a loner, Mora is actually the stepdaughter to the main bad guy for the
Thanos.
Guardians, Thanos. Rocket Raccoon and Groot are best friends, and Drax, he comes into the picture because his wife and child were murdered because of an order Thanos gave to one of his main guys. I cannot think of his name off the top of my head, and that's sad. I've seen the movie twice. But this movie overall, it was a grand slam. I cannot wait till this gets out on DVD. If you do go to the movies, make sure you stay to the end.
Of course, every Marvel movie you have to
Through
do this.
all the credits, guys. I mean, all the credits.
Yeah.
And there is a lot. A lot.
And you have to imagine why, because it's a space movie, and also there's a lot of things they have to pay people to do.
Yeah.
Do CGI, do stage, makeup, everything like that.
Well, when you see the spots, director of photography, assistant of photography,
Right.
assistant to the assistant, and it's just like, really?
Yeah.
The assistant needs an assistant?
And
Hollywood's where the big
needs an assistant.
Hollywood's where the big bucks is because they need you for literally everything.
That is correct.
So yeah.
Then to flip the coin, your favorite DC character. That's easy, Batman. Batman, my favorite DC character, easy.
True.
Batman.
I always like Batman, guys, because he doesn't have superpowers,
Yeah,
but he's beat Superman. He is a human, and he beat Superman.
it's true. Yeah, favorite DC character? I'd say Scarecrow.
I like Scarecrow.
Yeah.
You got to admit, Scarecrow was one of the best bad guys Batman ever had.
Absolutely.
Um,
Other than that,
what about if you had to pick a good guy?
yeah, that's what I'm kind of debating on. It's either going to be Superman or it's going to be, and I'm not even really feeling Superman that much, so that tells you that. Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Yeah, I like Green Arrow. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah. What Test the World has. People are waiting for a Justice League movie though, and they better have it.
Well,
They will, 'cause of the
that's what the
Avengers, so.
Batman Superman movie is with Wonder Woman in it.
Kind of a
But like we
startup.
have said many times, guys, this movie has to at least match the Avengers or best it, which isn't going to happen. It's not going to beat the Avengers.
like-
I can promise you that.
Yeah, people like Marvel much more than DC, and I mean that might be a. You're for DC?
I like this.
Well,
I
see,
mean-
the reason Marvel gets so much popularity is Stan Lee.
Right.
This guy is the god of comics.
I love how he shows up in his movies.
Yeah, and he does make an appearance in Guardians too, guys.
Isn't he like one of the engineers or something?
He's one of the.
Or dude's working on a computer?
He's just like a street person.
Oh, okay. But he's in there. That's
Yeah.
the important part, yeah.
But
he's like Mel Brooks, essentially.
yeah. Speaking of Mel Brooks, I watched Blazing Saddles the other day.
Good boy. Good
Oh
boy.
my god, you cannot watch that movie and not feel bad.
Blazing Saddle. Yeah.
You just watch it and you're like, I'm going to hell. Your favorite Legion that's been announced. Your favorite Legion that has been announced.
Oh, okay. Do the bluish flame one or the perdition
Prominence
dragon?
Core.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prominence Core.
And the perdition dragons or whatever.
Yeah, oh yeah, Perdition, Pop, Counterblast 1, Pop 2, make your opponent take a damage.
I can't wait till that comes out. And yeah, people might be thinking I want the Grand Blue one. I saw the Grand Blue one. No.
Now you
Sorry.
do want Snow, right?
I want Night Snow.
Yeah.
He's good. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Well, by the way, Ryan told me to tell you when he gets the boxes of Fighters Collection 2014 before we get down there for Texas, if he gets any snow, he will do his best to have you a play set, so if you want to play it.
I would appreciate it.
Because I was talking to Ryan and I told him, I was like, yeah, Zane wants to play Night Snow if he can.
It's like, they gave me a reverse unit, but they gave me an 11k Vanguard to use now. Oh crap, it sucks dick.
Yeah, because I have to mill 3.
For every time I use it. Thank you. I really
Thanks a
needed
lot,
that.
Bushy Road.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say your brake ride is good.
The brake ride's pretty great. It's the Neonectar one, except they disappear at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a reusable thing for a Grand Blue.
Yeah, but
still.
they could have done so much more with that Legion. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good. It's just not spectacular.
Why? Why?
And plus, I don't like how they made them become French pirates.
Yeah,
It's like the French aren't pirates. The French
they're
are.
it's like Blanc Noir,
Pignard.
yeah, it's just like they're just three different
French
names for
pirates?
wines. Yeah, they're French pirates.
It's like 3 French wines that are out there. It's
yeah, we
like-
don't need that. I mean, we're pirates, sure, but
I like Seeker Sing Saver, but I really like Star Vader Imaginary Plane Dragon.
I bet.
Basically, this deck, all it does is maintain the triangle lock, and it has Omega Lock cards.
By the way, Deleters, they are getting a trial deck in Japan. We might be getting it after the movie, potentially.
Yeah.
Deleters, which are the Link Joker.
Yeah, we don't know
manga
yet what the
exclusive,
deleters are, guys.
Yeah.
The second it is announced, expect a video.
Yeah.
Okay, Power Ranger movie is set to release in late 2015, early 2016. We talked about this, I believe, last time.
I think so,
They
yeah.
are Lionsgate paired up with Saban, and they are going to do a reboot of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, let me explain to you what this means. That does not mean that Tommy, Kimberly, Adam, Rocky, Aisha, and Billy are coming back. That means it is going to be an entire new cast. Now, from what I believe, if Jason David Frank, who played Tommy, wants to be a part of this movie, they would be fools to say no.
Right.
Because this guy, everybody has the one thing that they were just born to do. Jason David Frank was born to be a Power Ranger. Guys, there is a reason this guy is the only Ranger to have been 4 different colors. This guy, he was born to be a Power Ranger, and I watch Power Rangers on Netflix to this guy. Jesus Christ, my phone is beeping like crazy. But but I've heard he is.
Because they know we're doing this right now.
It's because I've heard he has thought about talking to Lionsgate. If anyone from Lionsgate watches this, if you can get him in this movie, even if he's like the advisor to the Rangers,
Yeah.
get it. Because if it is announced that Jason David Frank is signed, you are going to increase your take on this movie 50% easy. Because Power Rangers Dino Thunder, it was going to flop, but then it was announced 2 weeks before the first episode that it would open with a scene from Tommy, and that Tommy would be one of the main characters. They, however, did not say that he would be a Power Ranger again. Right. That was the surprise. And Dino Thunder did very, very well. And in my opinion, it was one of the better series that Disney ever did. Because when Disney owned the Power Rangers for 5 seasons, they had only 2 that did well, which were Dino Thunder and SPD. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you have Netflix, go to Netflix, go to your search bar, and type in Power Rangers. Every season is there. The other thing that I wanted to mention is there was an article, I shit you not, that said that Michael Bay wanted to direct this.
Come on.
I swear, Michael Bay. I swear.
I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
In the words of the Grinch, I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
If you like the facts,
You have already ruined Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for me. You have already ruined Transformers for me. You better not ruin the cartoon that was my favorite in childhood.
So many childhoods.
I will not go see this if it's directed by Michael Bay. As much as I love the Power Rangers, even if Jason David Frank is in this, I will not go see it. I will not ever do anything that puts money in Bay's pockets again. He has leaped past M. Night Shyamalan as my least favorite director. Congratulations, M. Night Shyamalan. You're no longer my most hated director.
There you go.
And there was a spoof going around that he was going to direct the new Star Wars movie.
Okay.
If M. Night Shyamalan directed Star Wars, here's how it would have ended. Star Wars, it was all a dream. It was a little boy in his backyard in his treehouse.
Yeah.
And that was the Millennium Falcon. And Han Solo was actually his dad, and Chewbacca was his dog. I mean, I was like, oh, thank God. I mean, the guy who directed the Star Trek movies is directing it, so
That's good.
he has a sci-fi background, so good. But yeah, Power Rangers movie is set to be announced in late 2015 or early 2016. It is a long wait, but 2015 and 16, guys, there's going to be a lot of good movies that are coming out around that time.
Yeah.
Justice League first step was going to be Batman and Superman. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Avengers 2. You're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Finding Dory.
Yeah,
that is
good.
like
that
movie's already making millions and it's not even done yet. But wow.
And also, there's a lot of good Marvel movies coming out, like the next
Iron Man 4.
Iron Man. There's Thor coming out. There's the Avengers 2, Rise of Ultron, and then there's the third one coming out, which I can't remember what it was called.
It's going to be the cross between the Guardians and Avengers. It's going to be out in 16, I believe.
Yeah, I saw a spoiler list of all the movies that are coming out. I like Thor 3, Ragnarok. I want to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, I think Chris Hemsworth plays Thor amazing. And they got like the grand slam for Loki.
Yeah. Nobody cared about Loki in the first Thor movie because they didn't give him much of a time to shine, really. And then they cut a lot of his scenes, too.
And then here comes the Avengers.
And the Avengers, everybody's like, oh.
This guy is talented.
This guy's good. I like him now, too. He's also the bad guy that all the girls feel for, and so he got fangirls up the wazoo.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, that scene where the Hulk literally flings him around like a rag doll is like one of the funniest things. There's a video on YouTube, guys, where you can actually watch that for 10 hours and just watch Loki get slung around for 10 hours.
I would. My gal's going to be Loki, and she loves that scene.
And then he just lays there.
And then
you should be Hulk now.
Oh.
And then 20
Hulk smash, son. No,
and then 20 minutes later, when they're back in there, he sits up. I think I'll take that drink.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because you were just slung around by a guy who
is super tough.
But, 2015 and 16, guys, that's when Power Rangers is supposed to be announced, along with a lot of other movies. They are also making another Jurassic World series, and instead of be Jurassic Park, it's going to be called Jurassic World.
That's kind of interesting.
I'm excited because it has been confirmed the guy, Dr. Grant, is going to be in the first one.
Yay.
But, see, the scary thing is he's only signed for this movie, so I'm afraid he's going to die. Which I'm going to hate, because as a little kid, I was fascinated with dinosaurs, and I freaking loved the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah.
So Jurassic World also around that time, so...
Right.
Lots of good movies coming up.
There are.
Next question. Favorite character or role that Robin Williams did? This is that question I was talking about, guys.
Okay.
If you have not heard, Robin Williams around last week, he was found dead in his house. He hung himself with a belt and apparently tried to slice his wrists. Toxicology, from what I understand, has not come back yet, whether or not he was drunk or doing drugs. I believe that's what we're all hoping for, to at least say, okay, he wasn't at least in his right mind, because I made a video talking about it. It's called In Loving Memory of Robin Williams. If you haven't checked that out, please do so. Also, keep in mind, it's not exactly my best work, because I was hit pretty hard by this.
It's a tough subject.
Because there's an actor that dies every year, and you
get hit by it, but not as much.
It's like, Paul Walker died. I love the Fast and Furious movies. I loved Paul Walker, but I was like, man, that sucks. It bummed me out for like a day.
Yeah.
I was bummed out I'm still bummed out about Robin.
Me too, yeah.
Because guys, growing up, you cannot have seen something that this man touched.
Popeye, Mrs. Doubtfire, Aladdin, Flubber, Jumanji, yeah.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
He was. Yeah.
It is hard to not find something this man did not touch. And one of my favorite things about him is when he told Disney that he wanted to sing Prince Ali and A Friend Like Me, there were people that told him no, that you can't sing, and he said,
yes, you can.
He's like, I may not be melodic, but let me do this. Those are still two of my favorite Disney songs. Easy.
Mine too.
Little side note before we continue. August 25th is the Emmys. They are going to be having a tribute to Robert Williams.
That's good.
So do check that out because it hit the celebrity world pretty hard, guys.
Yeah, you see a lot of tributes that are coming out on YouTube and stuff about celebrities that have interviewed him or even worked with him and stuff, talking about their experience or like honoring him by doing some kind of skit with related to him. You see a lot of on Facebook. You see a lot of posts. Like 1951 to 2014. He was only 63, and there's a lot of them of Aladdin. No, I mean Aladdin hugging Genie, but sometimes they take out Aladdin and they make it Robin and stuff.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you see pictures of the Jumanji board and it said, please, just somebody roll a 5 or an 8 and bring him back. Yeah, and all those kind of things.
I had a very lengthy conversation with someone with Dark Moon Tamer in the comments of this video, and I said, I said even though he may not have been in his right mind, Robin wouldn't want us to be sad.
Right.
He would want us to remember everything he did. Guys, one thing I want to point out real quick, 2 of his most notoriety, well, actually 3, Good Will Hunting, which is what he got his one and only Oscar for. And guys, there were people who said he didn't earn this Oscar, and that ticked me off. I did not I saw Good Will Hunting when I was a kid, but I did not fully appreciate it until I got older and matured.
Yeah. World's Greatest Dad's also a movie. So.
Guys, Jim Carrey, it was like Robin Williams. He can make you die laughing, but the difference between Jim Carrey and Robin Williams is Jim Carrey can't make you cry. Robin Williams can.
Right.
Good Morning Vietnam. Guys, that was a true story. This really happened. And Patch Adams, that was another true story. There really was a doctor who went around and made dying kids laugh. And it's sad that not many people know that.
Right. And here's the bottom line about Robin Williams. This man, even if they said it was because of depression or anything like that, the man's whole purpose was to make anybody and everybody laugh equally and stuff. Like, I remember he said, there was a celebrity. Oh, it was Norm Macdonald. He was saying that like when he was starting out and stuff, he was just in a room by himself and and a little Yiddish boy or whatever said comes up to him and it's Robin and stuff, and he's just commenting on him doing like a Chinese man accent and stuff, and like trying to take his order for food and stuff while he's dressing him in a suit and everything like that. And it doesn't matter if anybody was around him and stuff that heard him saying, as long as he was making you laugh, that was his goal.
Yeah.
The man had.
I was fortunate enough to meet him. I was fortunate enough to meet Robin Williams. Guys, he was one of the most polite celebrities I've ever met, because you see some of your favorites and you might run into them and they might treat you like total dirt, like you are wasting their time. Like, it's like, oh God, I don't want to meet another person who tells me, hey, Robin Williams had time for everything. I was on a very early flight with my mother to go up to Michigan because her father passed away, and there was this guy, and he was sitting at we were in Chicago at a layover, and it was 5 in the morning, and we were sitting, and there was this guy, and he was straight across from us, and he was wearing a ball cap, and he started talking, and I was only 8 at the time, 8, 9, somewhere in there, and I made the comment to my mom. I said, Mom, that sounds like the genie. And he stood up, and my mom caught his face and said, Sir, are you Robin Williams? And he started laughing, and he said, well, looks like I've been caught. And I got to shake his hand and talk to him for 5-10 minutes. It was so cool at 8 years old, because he could have said, I got to go to the bathroom, I got to go do this, and could have gotten away from us, because it's 5 in the morning. He probably didn't want to have a lot of conversations, but the fact that he did,
he takes the time.
And that is the kind of person Robin was.
Yeah, he's also a person that, like, if he's walking down a carpet or at the Emmys or whatever and stuff, he'll high five everybody, not just the people that are on the sidelines. He'll hang out with everybody. And
what also really I loved about his comedy, he could get vulgar if he wanted to.
Hell yes, he
but
could.
he could make you laugh about the stupidest things. I found this he got his start on Saturday Night Live. And one of my favorite jokes he told on Saturday Night Live, and you can look this up. They were guys. You also got to remember back in the '70s and Saturday Night Live, no one went on the scene of this show sober or not stoned. That's what made it so funny. And they were telling this joke about squirrels, and they said, what's the difference between a squirrel when he's high and a squirrel when he's not high? You know?
Nope.
A squirrel when he's not high will hide his nuts. When a squirrel is high, he'll play with them. Now, see, for the 70s, that was
pretty vulgar.
That almost got them kicked off the air. Nowadays, that's nothing. Oh, he said playing with his nuts.
Yeah. Two broke girls does that on a daily basis.
But I was really sad to hear. It was a shock because it's like, how could a man who brings so much joy into the world be depressed? And there was all these celebrities that was like, I didn't know, and they're like, did I miss something?
Right.
And the sad thing is, guys, is he obviously knew how to hide it.
Right. It's usually the happiest people there.
Now who was I can't remember his name. The guy who was the original Willy Wonka and he was in Blazing Saddles. Gene Wilder. He was someone did an article with him, and he said, I have not cried as hard since my last wife died. He said this man was comedy. I mean, it's like guys, you got to understand, this guy, when he was getting his start, people like Eddie Murphy,
right, were also
and things like this learned from him. I mean, my mom said that Robin Williams was the George Carlin or Bill Cosby of our generation.
Yeah.
Because, and Bill Cosby even said that he said I can't believe he went before I did.
Right.
But
Bill Cosby's pretty old. Let's keep that in mind.
I always had a hope.
Love you, Bill.
I always had a hope that, you know how they do the Expendables with all the older action stars?
Yeah.
I wanted to see Bill Cosby, George Carlin, Robin Williams, these older comedians do something together. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, pull anybody out. I mean, hell, even Gene Wilder was hilarious. Oh yeah. I mean, you could have done something with this and made it hilarious. And I can't wait to see what the tribute is at the Emmys.
I want to see it too.
Because it's August 25th. That's a Monday. It'll be normally they come on about 7, 8 o'clock. Make sure you watch this, guys.
Yeah.
It is going to be special. Now, back to the question. My favorite role that Robin ever did.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I have two answers to this because my favorite voice work he ever did was the genie.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank God that he at least has recorded for Kingdom Hearts, because I could not play Kingdom Hearts and not hear Robin Williams come out of the genie.
Right. Yeah. Which now it's going to mean a lot more every time you hear it.
Yes. And the saddest moment in Aladdin is the first one where Genie is packing and he turns around and he tells Aladdin, "You're always going to be a prince to me. I'm going to miss you."
Yeah.
That right there always yanks at my heart.
Yeah.
Voice work for me was the Genie. What about you for voice work?
I'd still say Genie.
I mean, Hunchback, yes, but Genie was the steal. Now, if we're talking about movies, Good Morning Vietnam and Good Will Hunting are probably going to be the tied for my two. Mrs. Doubtfire could be thrown in there, but it is so hard because he did so much.
Right, yeah.
But if you had to pick a couple of movies, I mean, what would you say?
I'd say Jumanji. I would say Popeye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter Pan.
Oh, he's in Hook. Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd say Hook.
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's hard to narrow it down to one. There's so many, but
the man's been in a lot of things.
If you have not seen any of these movies, like Good Morning Vietnam, Hook, have a movie night of Robin Williams, and you will laugh.
A lot of them are on Netflix.
Yeah.
I need to watch a lot of the ones I have missed.
But
next one I'm gonna watch is World's Greatest Dad.
Did you ever see Good Morning Vietnam?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
I believe it's on Netflix too.
Yeah, I think
it talks about, because the Vietnam War in a lot of people's minds is one of the worst, stupidest wars that ever happened.
Right.
And he actually, guys, traveled before he was on tour 2 weeks before he died. He went to these other countries where our soldiers are in danger every day, and got on a stage and performed for these men.
You have to have
have to have respect for that.
Yeah.
to put your life literally on the line to go perform for the men and women who give us our freedom.
They're in a much worse situation than we are, and having the chance to give them laughter once in a while, that's pretty amazing.
Because what the saddest thing was, there was a couple of guys who, when they went before the invasion of Normandy, and the comedian, I can't remember who said this, but he said, it killed me to know that the crowd I was looking at, they were laughing probably for the last time because they knew they probably weren't going home.
That's true.
And it's incredibly sad, Good Morning Vietnam, but it is also heartwarming. So if you have not seen Good Morning Vietnam especially, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
And also Good Will Hunting, because that was his Oscar win. And his only one, unfortunately. But you know what?
Yeah.
There's a lot better actors out there who still don't have an Oscar. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
That makes me smile.
Yeah.
Because I don't like DiCaprio. But anyway, next question. We only have 2 more, guys. Your favorite type of Pokemon?
Oh, I would say grass, probably, or water.
See,
I'd say
mine, I
go
think it would
grass.
be a tie-up between fighting or dragons. Because Lucario is my favorite. So.
Right, yeah, I mean.
What about you, Glennon?
And grass.
Grass. And then
my favorite Pokemon is Turtwig.
I think
Whatever it is after that.
I think mine's Trico.
Torterra.
personally.
Trico?
Yeah,
Yeah, Trico's pretty awesome.
he's just cool. And then Totodile I loved back in the day.
Totodile's the bomb.
Yeah.
And then last question, guys. Your favorite Mega Pokemon? Mega Lucario.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your favorite Pokemon is Lucario. So.
What's the next best step? Mega Lucario.
X or Y version.
Is there a difference? I think I've only seen one then in that case. If there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Yeah, there's only one Mega Lucario.
Okay.
I wish there was 2 different versions of him, but
Oh, are you saying that just for the sake of Charizard?
yeah, and Mewtwo.
Yeah.
You too.
Well, I gotta admit, I like the I like Sableye, but I like the Slowbro that was. You know the shell that's on his tail?
Yeah.
He's basically wearing it, and you can't even see his feet. He's just got his little arms poking out of his head, poking out of the top of it. He's like, it's just awesome.
I was hoping this was a joke, but
Right.
it's so weird. It's hilarious. Okay, Glenn, what about you? Favorite Mega?
This new Slowbro sounds fun.
Yeah.
What about Mega Skeptile? Have you seen the design for him yet?
I don't think I have.
He's pretty awesome.
I need to
But,
check that out now.
I can't wait until they come out with Mega Torterra. What are they gonna do with that?
I don't.
I assume
Venusaur
I
kinda
assume
thing.
all the starters will get Mega Forms eventually.
Yeah.
Probably.
But
What
anyway,
are they gonna do with Torterra?
Good.
well,
They're
guys,
going to add another tree, guys.
Yeah, another tree. Yeah.
make sure
They're
if
conservative.
if you're going to want Ruby and Sapphire,
And
make
a
sure you go and reserve them, because guys, this game is probably going to
It's
sell.
coming out pretty quickly, too.
It comes out in November.
Yeah.
If you wanted to find out all the information that I get about the game, Cerebinet is probably your best bet.
They're very reliable.
There's a guy on Twitter, and his name is literally @Pikachu, and I get the feeling he knows people. So I found out about Mega Salamence and Mega Altaria
Oh, yeah.
15 minutes after it was announced. And this guy is extremely... I've actually had a couple of messages through Twitter with him, and he said that he has his phone on the loudest setting, on the highest vibrating, so the second it's announced, he can share it with us.
He's proud of what he does, then.
So,
I'm guessing,
well, if my job every day was to go work on Pokemon,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate my job. I'm living with Pikachus.
but anyway, guys, sorry that we haven't done this in a while. We're going to continue to try and do this as often as we can. We hope you enjoyed this. If you have a discussion topic or a question that you would like answered or discussed, all you have to do is leave it in the comment section below, and
We will get to it eventually.
I will write it here.
Yeah.
It will, and we will talk about it. So whatever you want us to talk about, whatever it is, it does not have to be Vanguard related. It can be about anything and everything you can think of. So thank you for watching, guys.
Too by Disney. Please no.
But
Please
anyway,
no.
make sure you thumbs up this video and you subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
Later, dudes.